You're listening to TUSDPillars, part of the 150 years celebration of Tucson Unified School District.
Dr. Tom Scarborough was going to be a game warden. Then he was drafted into the Vietnam War, and that's where he wrote his first lesson plan. Dr. Scarborough served the district for almost 35 years as a teacher, principal, and a principal coach. He still consults on educational projects statewide.
Never a day I didn't want to come to work, and no 2 days were ever the same. You have someone else's most precious possession in your charge, and those people are trusting you to do the very best for that child. Open doors for them so that there's not just a single path or no path when they cross that stage and get a diploma. There was the best of times, there was the worst of times. Well, my whole tour was in 1970. I had a degree in wildlife biology. I was going to be a game warden. And when I was in the Army and in Vietnam, after you're in the field for a while, they pull you out for about a week of training, and they call it stand down. And most of what it is, you get a little bit of time to get a hot shower, to drink some cold beer. So as I'm getting off the helicopter, as we got into the rear area, my platoon sergeant comes up with a binder about 6 inches thick. It was a Friday afternoon. He says, tomorrow and Sunday, you're going to teach Fire Direction Center procedures to the whole platoon. So I started looking at this manual. I said, this isn't what we do. And so I stayed up till 3 a.m., and I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I was writing a lesson plan. So I'm in a very small little room with 40 heavily armed 19-year-olds who don't want to listen to me. And by golly, by the time we dismissed at noon, everybody in that platoon could effectively plot fire. Maybe not fast, but they were accurate. And our goal was to cross-train everyone, so if anybody got killed or injured, somebody could step up in their place. But I thought, that was pretty interesting. So I also learned that you could get 60 days off your tour if you got admitted to a college or university. So I applied and I got accepted and left Vietnam and started catching standby flights to get south as quick as I could. And I drove to Tucson to look for a place to live. And so I'm out of the jungle in essentially the 1st of January and back in a U of A classroom by the 15th or 16th, not really knowing how to behave in polite society, but having to learn. And it was sometimes better that people didn't know where you'd been the last couple of years. And so I grew my hair as long as I could, as fast as I could, and kept my mouth shut and dealt with inner demons and stuff for whatever it took, and completed my teaching certification, and then came out to this place. And that's when, the magic just started to happen. In the fall of 1972, when I came to this school to student teach, never having been a real teacher before and coming to student teach, a little apprehensive, I'm going to be around all these people that know their work, and am I going to be any good at this? And loving the physical environment. It was such a beautiful place. And in 72, I think the school opened in 68, and it was designed to be an open space school. It was all about doing the best we could. And the library was really the center of what went on. Well, the class of '02 came to me and said, we want you to be our guest speaker. That was a real honor. And then the student body president, and she reached sort of behind her and she brings out this large package wrapped in brown paper. And she announces that the library is going to be named after me and that we have this picture of Dr. Scarborough to hang. And she pulls the paper off. And it's like, I'm choked up. I mean, it's like, this is something else. But a library represents that hub where you can go for knowledge, where you can go to find out about things you don't know about. Because it does represent what our profession is about. And I had a little trick from reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert Pirsig. He talked about quality and went into it in kind of esoteric ways. But I took that to heart, and I said, you know what? I see some pretty spectacular stuff, and I'm going to try something. So I went down and I had a rubber stamp made of a Q with about 2-inch letter. And as I would grade papers, and or an examination, and you go through it, and maybe they missed some, but a particular question, they just did not an excellent job, but above and beyond, showing some real depth of thought. And I would just stamp a Q by that, and I wouldn't tell them why. What's this Q? And I said, that stands for quality, because what you did here really shows something special, above and beyond what we might have expected, that you're thinking about this, and you're able to express this very clearly. And there was no extra credit for a Q. It didn't give you any more points. It was just a Q. And the quality of work, as kids saw that and the word spread, they kind of liked that. And it wasn't that they would come up and say, well, would this be a Q? It was, no, let me write something really good for this. This was never just coming to work every day. They get the report cards, and she comes in and says, oh, thank you for the A. And I said, you don't understand. I didn't give you an A. My job was to write down the results of your work. You did that. We have taken it on as our commitment to be public servants and to do our very best every single day for every child that we come across. It's so rewarding when you're teaching and you see that light bulb come on, when a student realizes, I got this.